Welcome to Advantage Connect. I'm here with Mark Hubbard and Vince Vanderheiden of the US and Canadian Client Services team. They're here to talk about a case study of a North American company that has utilized Advantage data and embedded it in their culture. They've seen winning business results, and it's opened the door to many opportunities to them as a result of it.
Thanks, Gretchen. So Mark and I are here today to talk about our experience in working with a North American supplier in Canada and the US. So this particular supplier received their results back in 2012, and they saw that perceptions from customers were relatively poor. They were ranked in the lower tier in both the US and Canada, and so the first step they took was, okay, we need to work on our foundations. Our supply chain, we know has been an issue for us, but now our customers are really making it clear through the Advantage report. They were able to work internally with their senior leadership and get additional resources, people in place on site with some of their major customers to work together with those customers on forecasting, on improving their fill rates, on working on all those foundational pieces just to make sure that their items were getting in store before they did anything else. And then after that, they took some additional steps over the years to really understand what would delight their customers. So it started with the foundations, and I'm sure it was similar in the US.
Same supply chain issues, they tackled that first, but they also opened up the data to the wider company and made it very clear to everyone, it isn't just a supply chain issue, this is a company opportunity, and HR, finance, other functions have a responsibility and can contribute to the success or failure of the group. And so they shared the results very broadly. We're actually an article in every annual company internal newsletter. Everyone knows where they stand, and it really helped bring it to light the opportunities.
Right. And that you raise a good point. What they really learned, and what we now consider best in class from the learnings from this company and some others, is that they took a cross-functional approach to the report. So it used to be quite sales-centric. So they aligned internally around a customer, take a Walmart in the US or a Loblaws in Canada, and they said, we all have a part to play here in delighting that customer. And they brought that cross-functional approach to their customer. They're making sure the right people in the right room at the right time, seniority-wise or not, so that all the right conversations were being had to improve those relationships over time.
And then they really took it to the next level again. They didn't just internally align, but they really went back to the region and said, hey, we heard your feedback, right? And this is what we're doing based on the feedback. So that feedback loop is constantly being reinforced to get new feedback each year. And in fact, I was with one of the VPs of merchandising at a major e-commerce retailer, said, in 1 year, we had basically no contact with this supplier. The next year, I saw them, they phoned us within a month of the results. They said, hey, I heard you. I'm going to change how I approach you. They staffed up. Relationship was totally different the following year because they listened and they articulated back to the retailer, we heard you and how we're going to treat you differently. And what that led to ultimately was more opportunities.
What suppliers often find is that when they're working with, especially the larger, more complex customers, is that they're often not internally aligned. So in putting the right sort of cross-functional teams in place, they're able to help those customers align internally, and there's a great appreciation for that on the retailer side. And if you're considered to be one of those suppliers that has been helpful in getting those retailers to help with their execution, they'll pick up the phone if there's a new promotion, a new campaign, and say, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want to get involved? And that's what this particular company really found out over the sort of 4 or 5 years. At the beginning, it was all transactional, it was all just sales-based conversations, where after the 4 years, they were having much more strategic conversations. They gained some category leadership positions that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And the key thing that came out was it opened new doors for us.
Absolutely.
And without the Advantage report, we may not have seen these things. And that's really what the Advantage report can do for organizations.